And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has promised that we will receive guidance sure without doubt. So alhamdulillah, dear believers, it is a duty and obligation on us to have faith in the promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. One of the greatest challenges for us is to have faith in what Allah has promised. And in the history of the creation, His promise have never failed. We have invested in everybody else, every other weak human being, full of flaws and defects, and failed to invest in the promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is critical that we have faith in all that Allah has called us to. It is critical that we reject and refrain from all that He forbids us. And it is only Allah that has the right to make lawful or to forbid. Only Allah has that right. Only Allah has that power, that authority. We could say to stunt the growth of the soul is to just disobey Allah. There are a lot of ways that we can disobey Allah, but just to disobey Allah, stunt the growth of the soul that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said He has perfected with consciousness of what is right for it and what is wrong for it. And He is indeed successful who cause it to grow. How do we cause the soul to grow? Because it's an abstract that we don't even consider. How do we cause the soul to grow? We cause the soul to grow by nourishing it with what Allah has revealed. We cause the soul to grow with the application of the principles that Allah has perfected and revealed to us, and that made us a unique and special people among humanity. I do not believe that we can be conscious of the value of the health of the soul until we become conscious of the reality of the hereafter. Throughout Allah's revelation and in our own life experience, we see examples of the here and after. But how many of us are consciously investing in the hereafter? How many of us are consciously sending something ahead for our soul in the hereafter? This is a level of consciousness, dear believers, that we must develop to in order for us not to be enslaved and intoxicated with this life. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, what is the life of this world but play and amusement? But we invest too much in this life. We put everything in this life at the expense of neglecting the reality of the hereafter. Remember how fleeting this life is. This life is temporary. It is not permanent. It is only a trial, only a test. So we put all the baskets in the test and ignore the life, or investing in the life that is permanent and enduring. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, those that qualify to be in His presence, those that qualify, those that make it to the home in the hereafter near Allah and the righteous, never will they be asked to leave. This temporary life that we overly invest in that Allah said it is only play and amusement, this life, dear believers, has intoxicated us. We act like we are drunk in this life. We do not act with sobriety, like we are sober believers, investing and trusting in what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has promised. Allah says, but the home in the hereafter, best is the home in the hereafter for those who are righteous. Yes, this world is full of amusement. It offers such wonderful satisfaction for those who pursue what Allah has revealed and made accessible for our comfort. Remember, everything that exists. Can we move up? Those in the back, move. Let's move up. We're getting crowded. Move up as much as possible. This life that we overly invest in promises to give us such pleasure. But at what cost? When we consider that this is only a test, when we consider that this is only temporary, when we consider that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says it is shackles of deception. This life is an illusion. It is not real. Allah is the only reality. So why do we overly invest in this temporary life of deception that we are deceived by, that make us act as though we are intoxicated with it? It is because we are driven by our passions, our appetites, and our desires, and not our faith, not our trust in what Allah has promised us as believers. Remember, we are special. We are not ordinary people. We have been chosen by Allah, especially chosen by Allah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chosen the religion for us. Allah says the religion before Him is Islam. Submission and surrender in obedience to the will of Allah. If you are not submitting, obeying, and surrendering your will to the will of Allah, you're practicing something else. His law, your law, their law, but not Islam. Submission, surrender, and obedience to the will of Allah. But we obey our appetites. We obey our impulses. We obey our desires and rebel against what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has called us to. Dear believers, the simplicity of this religion sometimes deceives us. Because we just can't believe that the simplicity of this religion can be so profound that it can get us to where we're trying to go as weak human beings in pursuit of the dunya. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us permission to pursue the dunya. Get your share of the dunya. Whatever you think you got coming, Allah gives us permission to get it. But not at the expense of sacrificing your soul. Not at the expense of failure as a believer. Failure as a believer or success as a believer is not the same as success as a disbeliever. Because success to the disbeliever is how much material gain he can accomplish. But as Allah clearly says to us in his advice that those who fail to invest in the growth of their souls are failures. And those who contribute to the growth and development of the soul, they are those who are successful. So, alhamdulillah, we want to address briefly a subject entitled Retaining the Game. Retaining the game. How do we hold on to what we gain from our obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? We just finished fasting the month of Ramadan, a prescription that Allah has prescribed for us. And he said, fasting is prescribed for you as it was prescribed to those before you, that you may learn self-restraint. So one of the major aspects of the religion, of the fast, is to learn self-restraint. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, of all the favors that we bestowed on the son of Adam, of all the favors that we can never count, if you spend 1,000 years counting them, you can never count the favors that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bestowed on the sons of Adam. But of all those favors, he only asks that we fast with him 30 days during the daylight hours for his pleasure. So alhamdulillah, the believers are motivated and inspired to take the challenge. And we put our appetites on hold. We restrain them. We make them obey us. In the heat of the day, the thirst is calling for water. We deny and say, no, you can't get it to fast, Maghrib. The stomach be calling for food, and we say, no, you cannot have it until Maghrib. We restrain the appetites. Why? Because we can do for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for his pleasure, what we can't even, we don't have the strength to do for ourselves. So how do we retain that spirit? Because certainly we do not want to accomplish such great feats and then give it up in a day, in a week. Put all of your appetites in check. Restrain them, make them obey, make them obedient to you as you should be obedient to Allah. How do we retain what we gain? We could simply say, keep on doing what you have been doing, and we will keep on getting what we have been getting. Einstein had a theory of insanity. He said, anybody that does the same thing the same way expecting different result is insanely crazy. Because if you do the same thing the same way, you're going to get the same result. You have to change something in order to get something different. So if we want to retain all the benefits and advantages that we acquired during Ramadan, we have to do what Einstein's theory suggests. We have to keep doing the same thing the same way, and nothing will change. We will still have control over our appetites. We will still put our passions and desires in check and manage them from our intellect and not our emotions. How do we retain what we gain? Dear believers, we don't really really have the time to share some other gains that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us with, but we're just going to run across a few. Oh Lord, I've been greatly unjust to myself and do the best of my fault. So please grant me protection against my fault. Amen. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Dear believers, concluding, we got a couple of minutes, concluding on the subject of how do we retain what we gain. Remember that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us this beautiful religion. And not only did he give us this beautiful religion, he perfected it, and he made us the best people. You are the best evolved for mankind, not from it. There's a big difference. You are the best evolved for mankind, meaning that we have the best character, we have the best disposition, we have the best morality in order to be the leader among men, among humanity. This is what we should be. We should be leading humanity. We should not be the followers. We are leaders. You are the best evolved for mankind. And Allah demonstrated that in the life of the Ummah, in the Muslim civilization. From the 7th century all the way on, from the 7th century, while the rest of Europe was groping and struggling in a period called the Dark Ages, Muslims were busy inventing and discovering. Right there, every day, there is over 1.5 billion cups of coffee drinking every day discovered by a Muslim. Every day we count, we use the zero, discovered and introduced to the West by Muslim. Operations be performed quickly. All the areas of interest to human beings. Allah bless this Ummah to gain in science, astronomy, mathematics, algebra, itself an Arabic word, law, history, medicine, pharmacology, optics, agriculture, architecture, theology, music. All of this, the Muslim introduced. Allah blessed us to make these discoveries and introduce to the world. And today, while the world is benefiting from all of what Allah blessed us to discover and invent, we are lagging behind. We're no longer utilizing what Allah blessed us to discover, what Allah blessed us to invent. We are not utilizing it. Others are utilizing what we discovered. I believe that somewhere deep in the DNA of this Ummah, lying dormant, is the spirit that ignited that period in the Muslim Ummah that gave rise to all of these great discoveries that the world is benefiting from right now. In many Muslim societies, in many Muslim countries, they are not the recipients of any of the advantages that Allah blessed us to discover and invent. Many Muslim communities do not have access to medical treatment, to clean water. Thousands of Muslims are dying because they don't have access to clean water. Somewhere in the DNA of this ummah. That gene is lying dormant, waiting to be activated, waiting to be rejuvenated. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala inspired it centuries ago. I believe that DNA is all of us who submit to Allah and follow to the best of our example what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has revealed. Dear believers, let us thank Allah for inviting us to Islam. Islam is not a burden, it is a mercy. Some of us treat the religious principle like it's a burden. It is a mercy. It is what has made us, dear believers, advance in the world. Many disbelievers know our value. It's us that has forgotten it. So alhamdulillah, let us thank Allah for His many mercies. Let us thank Allah for this beautiful religion that has made us the best people in the creation. There's nobody better than the believer. Oh Allah, I've been greatly unjust for myself, and I do confess my fault. So grant me protection against my fault. Amen. You come to Salat.